Yasudanandana Rajatanandana Yamunatira Yamunatira Vabhijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Vabhijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Om Vishnupat Paramahangsa Charasana Bhakti Vedanta Sangahara Sapopati and the Gudi Vaishnava Vindhita Charasana Friends of all, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Giridhara Vrindavanam Jai Matadam Jai Navatam He Yamunamai Jai Turasi Jai Bhakti Devi Jai Samavira Bhakti all glory to the Assembly devotees, all glory to the Assembly, all glory to the Assembly, all glory. So as always, I speak English. Weil Deutsch gibt es keine Database. Huh? Bitte? Ach so. Verstehst du kein Englisch? Ah, wirklich? Du bist doch so lange die Wodi gewesen. Wir haben im Grunde alle am Anfang alle Englisch gelernt in ISKCON. Das war alles in Englisch. Ja, schade, dass ich jetzt weggehen muss. Hare Krishna. So, wir lesen wie immer aus dem wunderbaren, höchst glorreichen Transzendentalen Diary von Hari Swami. So we're reading from the most glorious diary of Hari Swami. This is actually a very important diary because Hari Swami was always present. He was assisting Srila Prabhupada. All day he was serving Srila Prabhupada. And so at night he would sit down and write down his memories during the day, what happened. And so we are actually given the opportunity to associate with Srila Prabhupada very intimately, very directly. And there's nothing more glorious than to have the association of a pure devotee. Prabhupada was a very extraordinary devotee. Actually, Prabhupada very much empowered to bring Krishna consciousness to the West. So we're hearing from Srila Prabhupada and Vrindavan. Because there was no breakfast, Prabhupada talked with the temple managers for quite a long time. He is quite frustrated with Akshayananda Swami's style of management. Although Akshayananda undoubtedly sincere, he seems to not have any realization about what to do and what not to do, nor how to do what Prabhupada tells him has to be done. Even when he says he understands, things don't get done. A case in point is the alteration of the guest house lobby. The banging, thumpings, and wall breaking continues ceaselessly. Prabhupada complained about it again, and Akshayananda said that it was being done under someone else's direction while he was out of station, and that he did not want the work to be done. Thus, when he promised Prabhupada that the work would be finished soon, Prabhupada skeptically remarked, and how long this work will continue throughout the whole life. Also, Akshayananda Maharaj, he was the temple president in Vrindavan at that time. And he actually stayed very long as temple president. But it's mentioned here, when Prabhupada was present, things became pretty clear. Beyond all diplomacy, and all nice words. Srila Prabhupada had the custom to say things directly. And so these things are not mentioned in other diaries and other biographies. And even Harisauri is even mentioning all the names. I remember the biography about Vilamita, about Satsvarupa. There's many things what he speaks about problems, but not mention the names. But here we always hear things as they are. No, I'm going to finish it today. Aksharananda Maharaj promised. Prabhupada was exasperated. You say no, but it is going on. You simply say no, yes, no. Very good, that's all. Prabhupada complained that his disciples are very expert in manufacturing nonsense ideas. I asked him how he can distinguish a good idea from a bad one. How he saw it, asking Prabhupada. You have to take ideas from your guru, Prabhupada replied. Therefore, gurum eva bhikachat. Why do you manufacture yourself? Consult the authorities, then do it. That is intelligence. Why do you think that you are very intelligent? That is materialism. The more you remain that I am a fool, that is good. And as soon as you become over-intelligent, then that's finished. Srila Prabhupada gave us this term. He gave us many terms that actually he created. Just like over-intelligent. That means somebody might be very intelligent, but he does it over. How to say it? He thinks that he knows better, or that he is incredible. Like that. So Europeans, Americans, they are over-intelligent. They have intelligence, over-intelligence. Unnecessarily, they manufacture a machine for shaving. He imitated the sound of electric shaver, making us all laugh. Gno, 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 gno. And they have wasted so much time, but people like it. Not just like when Prabhupada came to America in the beginning. So he was staying in Butler with his couple. He was an Indian gentleman and she was an American wife. So when Prabhupada came to America, he first went to live with them. And it's mentioned that sometimes Prabhupada was very surprised of seeing things like the high Staubsauger. What is it in English? Vacuum cleaner. Prabhupada had never seen a vacuum cleaner. And he sat on the sofa observing how they were using the vacuum cleaner. Just like he mentions here, shaving machine. He said it's unnecessary to have a shaving machine. Because since time immemorial, they always use this, these blades, blades. And I remember when we went to India, When you wanted to have your head shaved, there were people sitting on the street shaving others. And they use these big blades, and they sharpen it also. Okay, so then Srila Prabhupada got down to practical business. Akshayananda repeating Prabhupada's comment from yesterday that the devotees do not even require soap, wondered how they would wash their clothes. Prabhupada told him that soap was required, but because they were spending without any sense, he had said no soap. Now, this was another thing. When the devotees came to America, what am I saying? Came to India. They were used to this, to the use of so many things without thinking very much. Whereas in India, and also Prabhupada, there's a diary of Prabhupada. When he came to America, he wrote a diary. And in that diary, Prabhupada was speaking about his, his expenses. He kept a, expense record. Yeah. No, like he said, today I spent 3 cents for a letter, and I got a donation of $12 or something like that. And Srila Prabhupada was very, very sparsam. What is that? Sparsam? Huh? Sparsam? What do you say in English?
Careful to spend money.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Now we heard that sometimes when Prabhupada walked with the devotees on the street, I mean, one time he saw a fossil, like fossil, and it was dropping. It wasn't properly closed. And Prabhupada told the devotee, "Stop it." Even though it wasn't even a temple or anything like that, just any house. So Srila Prabhupada many times spoke about this waste, so much waste. Prabhupada told them, then he revealed some other radical cutbacks, and Bhagavati decided on last night. Then he revealed some other radical cutbacks he and Bhagavati decided on last night. He said that only 12 or 13 rupees should be spent on flowers. Right now, they spend 50 and still get cheated with decaying flowers. Now, that's another thing. And there's a lot of cheating in India. Especially they cheat fools. As soon as they see an opportunity to get more money out of somebody, they raise the price. Just like when we go to Vrindavan, to the festival, Vrindavan, all the prices rise in the shops. And when you watch the Indians, when they go, they don't accept the price. They always deal. They kind of no, it takes quite some time until they get to some price, a final price. Yeah. I saw this once in Vrindavan. There was a shop. I noticed that different generations were working in that shop. In the back, you could see the older gentleman, and he hardly said anything. Every now and then, all the young, the next generation were kind of taking it very seriously. Then the person who sat on the cash, cash box, cashier, he was younger. He was kind of the next generation. And then those who manage things, and they even had their children there. And the children would come and bring the cloth to show them, or they brought you something to drink also in the shop. You could select what you want to drink like that. You know, this is new. This is not like in the Western countries. I mean, this is how it was traditionally, wasn't it? Huh? Yeah, that's how everything ran there. You know. So anyway, so the point is that Prabhupada came from that environment, and he was very, very sparsam. Is that? Actually, I don't speak. I haven't spoken English for some time. I mostly speak Spanish. Akshayananda said that it was difficult to avoid being cheated, and that even Bhagaji sometimes gets cheated. Prabhupada accepted that it was a difficult thing to stop. Cheating is one of the qualifications of the conditioned soul. Vipalipsa Brahma Pramadha. Vipalipsa Karunatma. So cheating is a qualification of the conditioned soul. Everyone is expert in cheating, more or less. That is qualification. People take pride. Oh, I have cheated. I'm so expert that I have cheated. When the lawyer make some agreement between the two lawyers, simply think how I can cheat you. How can I cheat you? That's all. The more one lawyer is expert in cheating, he's a big lawyer. So these are very interesting comments. Any questions regarding this? Or comments? Say something.
I was thinking that liars can, whoever cheat more, they are very famous or something. So during our Juhu temple problem, there was a lawyer called Ram Jetmalani.
Mhm.
He was very famous in Indian constitution. Like he speaks anything, nobody can defeat him. So he helped us during the problem of Juhu temple.
He was a politician.
He was a lawyer.
Because there was also a politician.
Yeah, all conference. There was a
Yeah.
politician.
Yeah. Last time I was in India, he was still alive. With posters everywhere.
Yes.
And he dresses in saffron also.
Yes.
With jabber beads around his neck. Yeah, he had also. Okay. So we continue with Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we continue to read from the sixth canto, chapter 6, sixth canto. Problem here. Sorry. Which chapter was it?
18.
Oh, 18. sorry for some problems here. Yeah. Did you do the rhythm band? Okay, so we are reading from the 18th chapter. Deity vows to kill King Indra. Text 62. Chakarda saptatha garvam
Chakarta saptadakarvam
vajrena kanakapravam
vajrena kanakaprabham
udantam saptahaikaikam
rudantam saptadhaikaikam
marodhiritam punaha
marodhiritam punaha
chakarda saptha garvam
Chakarta saptadakarvam
vajrena kanakaprabham
vajrena kanakaprabham
udantam saptahaikaikam
rudantam saptadhaikaikam
marodhiritam punaha
marodhiritam punaha
chakarta saptha garvam
Chakarta saptadakarvam
vajrena kanakaprabham
vajrena kanakaprabham
udantam saptahaikaikam
rudantam saptadhaikaikam
marodhiritam punaha
marodhiritam punaha Chakarta saptadakarvam
saptadakarvam
vajrena kanakaprabham rudantam saptadhaikaikam marodhiritam punaha Jakarta saptadakarvam vajrena kanakaprabham rudantam saptadhaikaikam marodhiritam punaha Jakarta saptadakarvam Jakarta saptadakarvam vajrena kanakaprabham vajrena kanakaprabham rudantam saptadhaikaikam rudantam saptadhaikaikam marodhiritam punaha marodhiritam punaha
idam
Jakarta saptadakarvam vajrena kanakaprabham rudantam saptadhaikaikam marodhiritam punaha
chakarta
Jakarta
ikat
ikat
saptadha
saptadha
into 7 pieces.
to 7 pieces.
Garvam,
Karvam
the embryo.
embryo.
Right off.
Would like to use this.
Just right off. I don't know why.
Just
Can you make it bigger?
bigger, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Just as well.
I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So we went. Vajrena
Vajrena
by his thunderbolt,
by his thunderbolt,
Kanaka
Kanaka
of gold,
of gold,
Prabham,
Prabham,
which had the appearance,
which had the appearance,
Rudantam,
Udantam,
crying,
crying,
Saptata,
Saptada,
into 7 pieces,
into 7 pieces,
Eka Ekam,
Eka Ekam,
each one,
each one,
Maruri,
Marodi,
do not cry,
do not cry,
Iti,
Iti,
thus,
thus,
Tan,
Tan,
them,
them,
Puna,
Puna,
again.
again.
Translation. This one or this one? Like this?
No, yeah, from right to left.
Okay. After entering deity's womb, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces each embryo, which appeared like glowing gold. In 7 places, 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, "Do not cry." And then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that Indra, by his yogic power, first expanded the body of the one Marut into 7. And then when he cut each of the 7 parts of the original body into pieces, there were 49. When each body was cut into 7, other living entities entered the new bodies. And thus they were like plants, which became separate entities when cut into various parts and planted on a hill. The first body was one, and when it was cut into many pieces, many other living entities entered the new bodies. Interesting. Anyway, so these purports are very short. I'll just continue. But first of all, let me comment something about this here. Prabhupada is saying something very interesting. That's when you cut plants into pieces. They become separate living entities. A new soul enters into them. Actually, there's many souls, not just one. There's just one dominating soul. Yeah? Because all these cells, they're also growing. Fingernails and all that. There's living entities. Actually, Prabhupada once said that living entities are everywhere. Even within the matter. They're very, very covered. Anyway, so this Indra is doing something very special here. He actually, Aditi was doing, how say, practicing austerities to actually attract a soul to become the enemy of Indra. But because Indra was a very powerful demigod, the demigods normally are equipped with so many extra powers that we can't imagine. So he entered the womb of Aditi. What's Aditi? Aditi. Aditi? Aditi. So, and when she had become pregnant, he went in there. And how did he do this? Actually, it says that Prabhupada mentions somewhere here that yoga, when we're successful in yoga, we get all kinds of yoga cities. Like become lighter, like walking on the water. Jesus Christ, it says also in the Bible, you also walk in the water. Anyway, so there are eight mystic powers. And it Prabhupada many times mentioned that when the yogis No, actually, yoga is not just meant to achieve yoga cities, but actually to advance further, to actually surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and execute devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But as the yogis become equipped with all kinds of mystic powers, they become detracted. They become detracted. Just like we see also sometimes religious people, when they get a lot of donations or something, or they're very much honored, and they become detracted, they become sidetracked. They're distracted, they become distracted. That's why so many scandals also in the religious tradition, like in the Catholic Church, there's so many scandals. Why is this? Because they become prominent, they get some power. So many people highly respect them like that. That's why we are supposed to follow the principle Tadvidi Panipatina, to become more humble than the straw on the street, become more tolerant than a tree, always ready to respect others without expecting respect for ourselves. And then it says that actually that if we adopt this attitude, we can execute devotional service, or we can chant without problems. It will always continue. When you maintain this attitude, actually you go on. You're able to continue the devotional service eternally, practically. Anyway, so these mystic powers, Indra had actually achieved these mystic powers. And that's why he made himself small to enter into the womb of this lady. And he was able to do what he was doing here. No ordinary person can do that. Actually, it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam in several places that Indra sometimes becomes how you say, envious. When he sees that somebody is becoming very powerful, he kind of becomes alarmed. This person might take over my position. So this is another obstacle. But the Shastras tell us that we have to learn how to discriminate properly. Like a devotee, when he associates with persons who are less advanced or more innocent or ignorant, he becomes very compassionate and merciful to help them to also come up, also become enlightened. When he associates with other devotees who are more or less on the same level, like our God brothers or something like that, then he cooperates. Prabhupada used to emphasize this, especially this principle of cooperation. In the end, Prabhupada also said that your love to me you show by your cooperating with the God brothers. And actually, alone, what can we do alone? If we are cooperating, we can do wonderful things. Everyone is contributing with his knowledge or with his talents or qualities like that, abilities. So we can do many, many things. And when we are given the chance to associate with devotees who are more advanced, we should take a humble attitude, and kind of try to get some help from these people, or from these advanced devotees. Taking advice, presenting our problems, our doubts, become enlightened, and also try to serve these people. Just like it says that when great personalities appear, one should search for an opportunity. Look for an opportunity to serve that person. And these opportunities are actually very rare. Most of our, for example, in our movement, most of our senior devotees, they are traveling, they're sannyasis or spiritual masters, they're traveling all the time. And this opportunity to associate with actually very, how you say, very rare. So this is the proper attitude. Whereas in the material world, these things are managed, done differently. When you associate with people who are on a lesser standard or lesser level, lower level, you make sure they don't come up. You make sure that anyway, they advance any kind. Keep them there, to exploit them, and like this. And when you associate with other persons on the same level, normally there's a lot of competition, and fault finding. Even Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that the demons always thinking, why are you already killed this competitor? No, he will be the next. Yes, and when there's an opportunity when there's people are more prominent, more talented, or whatever, richer, normally you hear envies and you look for faults. So we have to learn this. It's very important. Prabhupada wanted us actually to act properly. Not only act properly, but also help others. This movement is actually a movement. Now, mercy, I say mercy movement. This is the most important principle. That's why Srila Prabhupada came to the West. No, he came to the West. Actually, Prabhupada was very comfortable. Actually, after a while, when Prabhupada had moved to Vrindavan, he became a very respected sadhu. I mentioned this many times. So when he came to Vrindavan, he became more and more recognized. That even the people who manage Vrindavan, politicians sometimes, somebody important came, a minister or something like that, who came to Vrindavan, and we heard that they took him to Srila Prabhupada to explain things nicely. So Prabhupada was actually very confident and situated in Vrindavan. But he felt this necessity to preach, to go to the West, under the guidance of the spiritual master. Yeah, and when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, when he was in New York, he was all alone. We're actually very, very fortunate that we have so much association. We have an organization, we have so many facilities. Srila Prabhupada was completely alone. In the beginning, he tried to get some help from his godbrothers, but he noticed that they were not really willing to help. Actually, Prabhupada had this idea to open a temple in Vrindavan, in New York. He wanted to open a temple. Or not only open, but build a temple. And in India, normally, trying to do something like that, there's always some generous, rich people. What is that family? The famous family name? It also gave donations to ISKCON in the beginning. Yeah. And they're famous for giving donations to build temples. And Prabhupada knew some people in India who would help. There was actually a gentleman, it's mentioned in the same book, Saudi. There was a person willing to help, to send money. But the government didn't allow it. Anyway, so we continue reading a little bit because it's a very short purport, a very short purport. So we go to text 63. You don't have it there anymore?
We have it
Tammuchu pratyamanaste sarve prajalayanripa himna indra jigamsasi prataro marutastava. Translation, O king, being very much aggrieved, they pleaded to Indra with folded hands, saying, Dear Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us? Navaishta Bharat Charomaham Mayam Yuyam iti Ahakaushitan Ananya Bhavan Parshadam Atmano Maritanguna. When Indra saw that actually they were his devoted followers, he said to them, If you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me. Nama Maraditera Garha Srinivasan Kampaya Rahudha Kurishakshuno Rauni Astrena Yata Bhavan. Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear King Parikshit, you were burned by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, but when Lord Krishna entered the womb of your mother, you were safe. Similarly, although the one embryo was cut into 49 pieces by the thunderbolt of Indra, they were all saved by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of God. Sakridishvari Purusham Purusho Yati Samyatam Samvatsaram Kinchit Ulam Dityayatadadir Architaha Sajur Indrena Panchashat Devas Te Maru Tobhavam Yapodhyam Matri Dosham Te Harina Samapakritaha. If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original person, even once, he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily features as Vishnu. Deity worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year, adhering to a great vow. Because of such strength in spiritual life, the 49 Maruts were born. How then it is wonderful that the Maruts, although born from the womb of deity, became equal to the demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Anyway, so there's no purpose. Continue. Iti Rudhaya Datrishe Kumaran Adalakraham Indrena Sahitan Devi Paryatushyat Anindita. Because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Diti was completely purified. When she got up from bed, she saw her 49 sons along with Indra. These 49 sons were all as brilliant as fire and were in friendship with Indra, and therefore she was very pleased. Atendram matatataham adityanam vayavaham apatyam ichanti acharam vratam metat sudushkaram. Therefore Diti said to Indra, My dear son, I adhered to this difficult vow just to get a son to kill you 12 Adityas. Eka sankalpita putra sapta sapta bhavam katham Yadi te viditam putra satyam kathaya mahmrisha. I prayed for only one son, but now I see that there are 49. How has this happened? My dear son Indra, if you know, please tell me the truth. Do not try to speak lies. Indra vacha amrite hambalasitam upadhaya gato nitikam la nantaro chikam garbham artha buddhirana karmadrik. Indra replied, my dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interest, I lost sight of religion. When I understood that you were observing a great vow in spiritual life, I wanted to find some fault in you. When I found such a fault, I entered your womb and cut the embryo to pieces. Purport. When Diti, Indra's aunt, explained to Indra without reservations what she had wanted to do, Indra explained his intentions to her. Thus, both of them, instead of being enemies, freely spoke the truth. This is the qualification that results from contact with Vishnu. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvai Gunais Tatra Samasate Sudaha. If one develops a devotional attitude and becomes purified by worshipping the Supreme Lord, all the good qualities are certainly manifested in his body. Because of being touched by worship of Vishnu, both Diti and Indra were purified. Interesting. It means if one becomes a devotee, naturally all his good qualities become manifest. Why is this? Because these are the qualities of the soul. And when the soul becomes purified, its qualities become manifest. Just like this verse, Avitim Chani Vitim Chani. Tikshtava Karimika. And it says that qualities of the sadhu are mentioned. And the first quality mentioned is tolerance. The devotee becomes very tolerant. Even in the middle of so many problems and so many disturbances, the devotee becomes very tolerant and doesn't give up his determination of serving the Supreme Personality of God. He does never become discouraged. It's full faith in Krishna. Everything is like Krishna is actually managing things from the person, behind everything. Karunika. Karunika means he's merciful, compassionate. Can't tolerate to see the suffering of others or inflict problems to others. I often have given this example that I heard that once Hari Saudi was with Srila Prabhupada. He was preparing his bed in Mayapur. You must have heard it before. And so Prabhupada was just sitting and watching him as he was putting up the mosquito net and all that. And then finally, when he finished, he discovered there was a mosquito under the net. So he again went and tried to catch the mosquito. Finally, he caught it. He had it in his hand. And then he went to the door, opened the door, threw it out. And Prabhupada watched this whole thing and he said, oh, before you would have killed this mosquito without any consideration. But now your heart has become purified. So the mercy, the prediction, becomes a well-wisher, how you say it? of all living entities. Consider them all his brothers. And then Jatashatrava means he doesn't have any enemies. In the material world, you always have enemies, and people are favorable and not favorable like that. But devotee, sadhu doesn't consider this. Of course, when they become offensive or something like that, he can also become like fire. Prabhupada wasn't just sitting there smiling all day. He became sometimes very angry. But he used his anger. He was under the control of his anger. So when he became angry, he could immediately stop being angry and change the mood. Whereas ordinary persons, they will become carried away by the anger. Anyway, so Shanti means peaceful, very peaceful. And Sadhava. Sadhava means everything he says, everything he does, it's all based in justice. Bhushan. That means he's decorated with these ornaments. I have often mentioned that these are the actual ornaments of a devotee, not his tattoos, or rings and whatever they sometimes use. The real ornaments of the Vaishnava are these qualities. That's why it says, in the end it says, Bhushana, all his qualities are perfect. Ornaments are perfect. Any questions or comments? Yeah. You want to add something? Sorry?
He was speaking Russian.
Oh, he's Russian. He's a Slogan, right?
It's amazing of the person who was angry when he come in touch with the devotee, he becomes.
Can you repeat that?
Just amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing when we see a person who was angry, and when he is coming in touch with their devotee, he becomes pacified.
Yeah, because he got purified. Got purified.
He's making the comment.
A what? Oh, comment. Oh.
He regret what he.
Oh, I see.
Something influence the person to change.
Yeah, these are the real miracles. This is what Paul mentioned once. That I told the story before. That Paul was traveling with some devotees, and they had reserved the compartment, I think, in the train. And when the devotees traveled with Srila Prabhupada, they were always very careful that nobody would come, because normally when a person appeared in public, many people wanted to touch his feet and was become an obstacle for the devotees. Anyway, so then they had brought him into the compartment, and they were almost about to close the door. And then actually there were two gentlemen there trying to make eye contact with Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada saw them, okay. He asked them to come in. And then, my Prabhupada always said, who are you? What are you doing? How's your family? Like that. In India, always speak about these things first. And then, and he said, then Prabhupada said, so what do you want? And then two gentlemen said, oh, we want blessings. We want blessings from you. And then Prabhupada said, these are my blessings. And he showed his disciples. Are you ready for my blessings? There was another occasion. A reporter asked Srila Prabhupada if he had seen God. And Prabhupada said, yes. Then the reporter said, can you show me God too? And Prabhupada said, yes. Can you show me God now? No. And then Prabhupada said, first you have to become one of them. And he pointed to his disciples. That means surrender first. And then you ask. Then you ask. Yes, that's a miracle. Prabhupada's real miracle was that he turned these young people into devotees. Because in the beginning we were all young. Nowadays, many old people are older, devotees have aged. But at the beginning we were all young. And Prabhupada was the only old person. When somebody was above 30, at that point we thought he's old. I remember that we had a saying, don't trust anybody above 30 years. This was kind of amongst the young people. Okay, thank you for your comments. Any more comments? Yeah.
Мы должны быть толерантны к невежеству и терпимы к невежеству.
We should be tolerant towards their ignorance of the people.
Должны мы терпеть невежество без совсем соглашаюсь.
Question is, should we be tolerant to the ignorance of the people without accepting this ignorance, without desiring to elevate?
We should become expert in encouraging people. Try to do things in such a way that they become encouraged. Like, for example, a new person comes. We shouldn't preach to them like, you're not put off your shoes and all this. We should encourage them. And one thing of encouraging them is also give them prasad. They might not be, understand or accept our philosophy, but once they get prasad, they appreciate. And we should become expert in encouraging them. Like, for example, oh, you like the prasad? Yes, very much. As soon as they start speaking positively of Krishna consciousness, we should encourage them. You like this? Oh, very good. And you should always ask questions which makes them appreciate. You understand? Treat them always nicely. And then we say that once a person comes to the temple, this is the fruit of our preaching. She goes out every day and distributes books. Every day she goes out and distributes her books. And somebody finally comes to the temple. Wow! He has received a book from her. He read. He's interested. Also by her treatment. Like I went downtown the other day, and I had to. It came out of the train station, and she was there distributing books. And I didn't want to interrupt her because she seemed to be very happy. She had a very happy expression on her face. They're doing Sankirtan. Anyway, this is in this way we should use our diplomacy, encourage people. Did you like it? Yeah, what do you think? Like also when new people come to the Sunday feast, we should give attention to them. No, we are accustomed here to ask if somebody has come for the first time. And they normally get a book here and a booklet. And it shouldn't be at this point, but we actually, I remember when we had our Schloss Rettershof, close to Frankfurt, Heikesh made me Bhakti leader to train the Bhaktas, the new people. And they started sending new people even from Switzerland to take part in this program. Anyway, so we had a program at that time. I organized such a way that I had devotees who helped me, and Sunday, I told the devotee, go preach to this person, you preach to that person, and then after you tell me how they reacted, how they are, yeah. Especially if somebody comes for the first time, it needs some attention. Become encouraged to come more. And we should speak to them in such a way that, did you like it? Did you like the prasad? Did you? No, good. What do you think? Anyway, you all know. Preaching is the essence, Prabhupada said. Our mission is a preaching mission. We should organize all these things in such a way that the conditioned soul becomes attracted to Krishna consciousness. It will be so clean, and nicely organized, and there should be reception for people who come to the temple. In Argentina, we have a big temple there in Buenos Aires. And we always have a receptionist. How is the reception? Yeah, reception. Person receives people, treats them nicely, gives them some prasad. That's also what Prabhupada, there's a famous letter of Srila Prabhupada. Not just Srila Prabhupada, actually he told the disciple to write this letter. Because he had heard, Prabhupada had heard complaints. Somebody had come to the temple and there was no prasad. And then Prabhupada had his secretary write a letter, and remember, this letter came to all the temples. The secretary sent it to all the temples. That we should always have prasad ready for unexpected guests. Even Prabhupada said so many portions. He even gave the number. Anyway.
Does it mean we should be tolerant towards them when we see the person growing? So we should be tolerant, observing him growing, not to be progressing.
Yeah, once they become acquainted with our practices, we should tell them things as they are. Like in Mayapur, they have this principle that all the brahmacharis, when they come to Mangal Arati, they have to put their sign in the list that they're actually there. Yeah. And there are some temples I know when they don't come to Mangal Arati, that they're not coming to Mangal, they don't get prasada in the morning. Yeah. Did you come from Mangal Arati this morning? You stayed here? Prabhupada used to say that Mangal Arati is the most important thing we do during the day. But you notice, when you do it, you notice. Huh?
Danke sehr.
Danke sehr.
What is this in Russian?
Спасибо.
Pasivo. Okay. Yeah.
But does it mean that every person who visit the temple should give to them prasada? We should have this attitude to not to leave them without prasada.
Yes.
Is that
I learned this from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada always had prasad in his room for those people who came to see and talk to him. Like in Vrindavan, those who have gone to Vrindavan, they know Prabhupada's house in Vrindavan. When Prabhupada was there, he was sitting on this asana. There's a big asana. They have how you say, marble, I say, furniture behind him. And remember, on the end of this marble thing, there was always a box. And so when somebody left, Prabhupada said, "Give him prasad." Hey, moment. No? And give him prasad. Whoever came to see Prabhupada, Prabhupada insisted that they give him prasad. Like in one place in Argentina, we had the devotees were taking this very serious. You know, like the postbote, I say the mailman, he got prasad and he liked it. There was a nurse, sometimes came to the temple with, I don't know how, in Germany it's not common, but they have nurses in the, I say, in the barrio, I say in English, in the place, taking care of people. And she also got prasad, and she liked it. And the mailman started coming to class at night, because of this attention that he was given. And all the shop owners also on the side, they all knew the devotees had these sweets. And many devotees, like we know, many devotees have become devotees by. Here's one. Yeah. I came to the temple, we didn't understand very much because the person who was giving class tried to speak in German, but he was not very fluent in German. It was very difficult to understand. But then they served prasad. And this was so nice, this prasad. All these preparations that Prabhupada told us. And I used to go. I started going to the temple. And that's how I became entangled with Krishna consciousness. Yeah. I don't, what was the question there? I think I went off a little bit.
you answer?
Yeah. What was the
I
question?
asked, should we have the attitude that every person, whoever visits the temple, should not leave the temple
Without having taken prasad. You don't have to serve a feast. There should be ladus, or there should be simply wonderfuls or something like that. What do you think? Good idea? Yeah, everything that Prabhupada taught us were very good ideas. And we just have to maintain these customs, or these things that Prabhupada introduced. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your patience.
Swami.